Hi everyone. Good evening. Please just indicate if you can hear me. Also, please do well to inform your mates on Slack. Uh, Inform them that we are starting. I cannot open Slack right now, so if you have a chance, please could you inform them on Slack that we are starting. Okay, so some few minutes. Let me see if the other people will join. Hi guys, the turnout is really poor, like very poor right now. Uh, it makes me feel like I should drop. I don't need to answer questions. Since some people, yeah, they kind of already have answers. So I don't know if it's really worth continuing because how can you be having a live session with just four people on board? That's kind of discouraging, don't you think so? Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can give some other minutes, and after that, I'll try to answer your question, Sugar. Well, I don't think I am really happy with the turnout. Like, it's not encouraging at all. Like, not at all. But what can we say? Let's wait for them, right? Okay. I think I'll try to go through the. I think there are five additional questions. Yeah, I'll try to go through them. If there is any other thing I want to show you guys, I will show you guys, and then we can end there for today. Okay. Okay. So I'll be starting. Let me go through the questions right now. Um. Okay. Somebody is talking about not knowing how to use Replit. I said I tried coding and running my code. It's giving me an error. It's not running. What am I doing wrong? And the deadline for submission is in 2 days. I think I'll get to Victoria on this. She is the front end mentor. I'll get to her if she can reply to your question. But probably I think the issue should be your network. Like if Replit is not running for some reasons, then it should be either because your connection is poor. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons. But anyway, I'll try to get to Victoria on that, and you guys will get a reply, hopefully. Okay, so the next question say I'd like to inquire how to skip a question in objective task. If I feel the answer is not okay, okay. Oh, yes, I get this. For the week 3, the objective questions, they actually have some two errors, and I think you've indicated them here. So if you find out that a question has an error, do well to submit the closest answer to that question. So probably question 5 and 7, I don't know the questions, but I think two actually do have issues. So just submit the closest answer to that. And if in case it really did have an error, you will not be penalized for that. Okay. So just do well to submit. Is that okay? All right. So for the next question, let me see. The next question is two questions. Oh, please excuse me a few minutes. Okay, so sorry guys. Let me come back to the question. Two questions. Please, I know you might have done this before, but take us through how to put the registration form into the file.csv. Secondly, are we meant to ensure that when the form is created, is filled, the answer shouldn't show the array keys? About this, print arrow would definitely show the array keys. So it's not a problem if you are printing out the data and it's showing the keys. All right, so it's not a problem. This person is actually talking about getting data from the form, submitting it to the file, and then printing it out. So you can either print your data normally, like without keys, or just use print arrow to print out the data. That won't be a problem. Like even you print out the data with keys, it won't be a problem. There's no restriction to that. Okay, because you say you are having issues removing the array keys. You could use implode to actually remove the array keys. Let me see if I can come to that. Uh, okay, so let me try to answer this question. Let me see. So literally, we have this our normal this our previous work that we did. We had a form that we took data and then we're submitting it to a certain file that handles the logic. So basically, what we want to do is that, okay, when you get this data, you save it in this file. This is the logic to save data into a file. You check if the submit button has been pressed, you get the data individually, you put it in an array, then you write the array into a file. I think our last session, this is what we were doing. Now, the question is, how should you print it out? So after writing this data, you could literally just you could use var dump uh, the data. You could use var dump. You could use print r, print the data. I mean, one of these, any of it will definitely go. So sugar, what you are saying is you could use either of these, and literally, I know that is going to cause some problems. Let me see if I can stop sharing this. And to the person, I think this will actually answer another person's question. How do you open this on your browser? First thing, you have to make sure that this your work is inside XAMPP and inside htdocs. So if I print the working directory here, you see that the work is inside XAMPP, inside htdocs. All right. So how do you open that? You need to first of all make sure that XAMPP is running. So you start XAMPP and then localhost forward slash the folder inside htdocs that is having your work. So mine is called learning, and inside learning there's another folder called PHP. And sorry, my XAMPP seems not to be running, so I'm just going to start XAMPP. For Linux people, this is how you start XAMPP: sudo opt lamp then start. That is how you're going to start XAMPP. And okay, that is started. Sugar, let me just increase my screen before you start saying you're not seeing, right? Okay, so I have this now. XAMPP is running, and if I go back to my browser, typing the same thing, I am able to access the work. So if I access form.php, I have this work here, which is the form, right? And I'm going to save some data something. I'm passing an email, I'm passing some password. And when I click on register, oh, they say this page is not working, probably because we missed something out. Let me see. Uh, what can the issue be right now? This page is not working. Let me try to check what the issue is here. So if I reload this, okay, we're having this page is not working. I think as of the last time we actually did this, it was working, right? So let me see data at gmail.com. I have password of data. Okay, so we need to check what the issue is. So is there file.csv here? Yes, there's file.csv. I'm thinking that this file does not have permission. So let me check file.csv. Okay, I have no permission. So if I change the permission, I think that should work now. I've changed the permission so that you can read, write, and execute. So if I take ls minus l, so you see the permission has changed here. Now let me see if this works. Okay, it does work well. There's nothing that was printed, but the data was saved. You can see it here. So after saving that data, as we did last time, the only last part that you need to do is to print the data, like print R, then the data. That's basically it. You don't need any other extra thing, right? If I refresh, You see, it prints out this data. This is literally all you want to do. You don't need any other thing. Or you could literally use echo, like echo, let's say name, then I concatenate it with some break or something like that. Yeah, I echo the name with a string, echo the email, echo the password. And if I do that, you see, this is it, all right? So what you are expected to do is basically just get the data and save it into the file. Then you print out the data back to terminal. You don't need any other thing to do. Somebody was talking about redirecting and so on. Well, it could be good if you can do that. Like if you can do that, good. But as of the task, this is where I'm expecting you to end. That doesn't mean you have limits, okay? I don't know if Sugar, please do well to indicate if I answered your question or do you still need some clarification? So I'm waiting for your reply and I've not seen it. So I'll just continue. Hopefully you got it. Okay, so let me try to move to the next question. And the question is talking about I have issues installing XAMPP. Oh my God. When I get to clicking the component, I find some component not highlighted, e.g. Apache. I cannot click it. How is that? Currently, I am using Linux right now, so I cannot take it through installation of XAMPP. But please, did you try, what could be the issue? Well, do well to get to me on Slack about this issue, maybe a screenshot. And I think you actually do have a very big community here, and the community is literally helping. Like, if you have a question, uh, I think you can get to the community and ask your question. I think it will be answered. All right. Sugar, please, did I answer your question? Okay, print R does not print the data in the file. It prints the data that you were sending into the file. All right. So let me show you something again. So basically, if you notice, this name is this name here, right? So you have this name, this one here, this email here, this password here. That is what we are printing out. Now, this line will not execute when these ones up here have not executed. So basically, if you are printing this, they are literally printing out the data. All right. So you don't need to go extra miles trying to read the file again and print its content. I think, but literally you could use fget CSV to print it out. I think so. Let me see. Let's check it out. How to read the content of a CSV file with PHP, right? So so that we get the exact results. Uh, fget CSV. So let's go to Geeks for Geeks. And okay, so we have a CSV file and want to read its data. So you could use a loop, like read the line with fget CSV, and I think that's it. So let's try it out, right? So let's try to reopen the file. So I'm going to kind of comment this now. Read the contents of the file and print it out. All right, so we are opening the file. right, in read mode, then the next thing is that we want to check while it is not the end of the file. This is another new thing that you want to take note of, right? We learn every day. So we have this CSV file and we're like, okay, while it is not yet the end of the file, this is what this one, while FEOF tests for the end of the file. So this symbol at the beginning says while it is not yet the end, do what? Get the data each line and print it out. I don't know if that does make sense, but literally for now, what data do we have? We have three chunks of data. I'll edit it manually, like sugar. I'll go to I've forgotten somebody's name. I wanted to. So Vicky, I'll do Vicky here. I'll do sugar here. Let's see what this one does. Now take note, all right? So after saving the file, we've closed it. And again, we are opening it, right? And then let's close it now. Let's close the file. So we open the file like normal opening, and we use the read mode to open the file, right? Because we just want to read content. Then now this is a while loop. I don't know if you guys have already studied while loop yet, but this is a while loop that does what? It loops through a maybe a given array or a given file, uh, given that a particular condition is true. Okay, so while this condition here is true, what is the condition? It is not yet the end of the file. This is what this statement literally does. Now we get the data, then we print it out. And this is now an array because our data is gotten as an array, and we can get the index 0, index 1, index 2. Now look at this. So we have index 0, index 1, index 2. All right. So basically, I hope this works. We might be making like that when it does not work. So I'll refresh this and you get all the data printed out. Okay. So just to keep track of what is happening here, uh, let's see. What should we do to keep track of it? I think there's nothing we can do here, right? Few minutes. All right, guys. So this is what you do. I think, let's see. Did you get that, or you need something to be understood? You need something to be clearer. Sugar. So there are two ways, right? I've just showed you two ways. One of the ways is literally to just print out the data, like print the data out manually using print R, and then pass out the data, or what is it? Control Z, or you just print the data like with var. Yeah, so one of these is going to print out the data to you. This is if you don't want to stress. For somebody who wants to learn, open the file again, look through it, get each of the line, and print it out. This is basically what this guy does. Okay, I don't know if that is clear. Okay, Jewel, so this could literally do it, like it could literally do it. Now, let's take for example, we have gotten the file, and what we want to do is we want to check if a particular email already existed or a particular username. So what I want to do here, I could just take this particular line here, for example, copy, and if I paste it here, right, like while it is not yet the end of the file, you get the data. And then let's say the data, the email was say at index 0. You can check if data at index 0, which is what is the index 0 here? We have that the index 0 is the name. So you could say that if data at index 0 is equal to the name, then you echo user already exist and you exit. Now, let's see that. Let me use an else here. Uh, let's do that. Let me get rid of all of this for now. So let me come back to this. So we get the data, right? We go through it one after the other, like get the name, the email, the password. Then we create an array and put this inside. Now we open the file, right? I don't know. Let's just say this. We open the file in append mode. Then we look through the contents of that file, right? Now, if the content of the file had a particular index, for example, you are supposed to know your file. This is why, to some extent, CSV files are really very difficult to work with. I'm now giving you the advantage of MySQL over CSV right now. Now, you could literally, you might not know the index, like where the name is, like which index the name belongs to. But with MySQL, you know the column, you see. So that is why MySQL is better, but that doesn't make CSV really that bad. So you go through the file, like use a while loop. Now you get each line, you check the index 0, which is the name, if it's already exists, or let me use an or here. How do you use or or the email already exists. So the second one is the email. So if you check through it and the name or the email already exists, then you print out user already exists. And let's take, for example, you could echo user registered successfully. All right. So with this, I think this should work if I'm not making errors. So if I reload this, page is not working. I think, which mode should you do this? Read append. Yeah, I think read append. Let me just try if this works. Probably. All right. So in that case, now check where the problem was. The problem was that we're opening the file only in append mode. But in some cases, since we want to read the contents of the file, we use the read and the append. And this is how you can combine modes. So you could open a file in read, write, execute mode. Okay. So you check if the content already exists. If it exists, then you print out the user already exists, and else you save the data. Now let's go back and try something else. Like let's use something totally different. Let's say, is there anybody called Vicky here? No, there's already Vicky. Let's use Joel. And Joel gmail.com, then we pass on password here and we click on register. You see that user registered successfully. Now this is printing several times because what happens, it goes through each of those lines and then checks. But some cases you might want to get rid of this to print it just once. So for that reason, you might want to not echo it here. You might want to remove it and echo it here. I think so. Yeah, I think here would go. To refresh this, user exists already, I think. So let me see. Password. Let me see. Okay. So let's see what this one prints out. It keeps on printing this thing over and over and over again because the data we are passing doesn't really make sense. So, but the logic is clear there. You just need to pick the file, then you check, use this check. You check if the file or if the data already exists, like if name or email already exists, you echo exit. Your echo user already exists, then I mean, this is, I think it's not a problem. The check has already been made. Okay. So these are just some things you could do. Is there something I'm supposed to undo here? Well, this is just an optimization, right? So what I could literally do here is I could comment this out, like uncomment it, and then come back to our normal stuff and read the file again. Read file and print content. And okay, good. That's basically it. So, Joel, I'm sure that answered your question, right? Joel, no, you must not use the get method. Like I said, the get method is basically most of the times when you want to get data from a certain backend. The post is most used. Like, for example, this form, I could change this form to where's the form? So I have the form and I could change this to post, right? When I change this to post, that means I have to come back here and change all of this, like change all occurrences to post. And basically, you are going to see the difference like this. Difference would be that at the previous one, we submitted that data, all the data was printed out on this URL. But in this case, if I submit it, let me see, I need to refresh this for sure. Okay, so I think let me come back here. It shows, okay, print it out, and yeah, it shows user registered because the user has been registered. So post method, it goes, get goes. In fact, you use the method appropriately when needed. When you are sending data to the backend, for example, you are doing login, you are doing registration, all of that is going to be a post method. Now, when you are sending data to a certain, for example, what should you do? If you're sending data to, yeah, if you're getting data from the database, most of the times you use the get method, right? So I think that is it. Let me see the file.csv. Uh, yeah, let me see. This should be having some issues. Let me see. Put CSV file, then data. Okay, data is equal to fget file. No, this is not the data, right? So we are using this data here. This is the data we are using, and I think that's. Let me clear this again. Refresh. Print out something. Okay, user already exists. No, user does not already exist. Check is going wrong here. Mm. Okay, that check was needed. This is the data. Uh, I'll call this info because I think something is happening. There is an override. So, if info and info, I think that is it. I should go now. So I should write in info into the database. Probably that could be the issue. This already exists still. Let me run this load and okay, so what is the problem? Oh god, if data, I think if data at index 0 equal to name and so on, because we are getting this data. Let me check what this gives now. Yeah, I think it's okay now. So it reads it out and prints it to us. So that's great. We have our data the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Uh yeah, I figured it out. At least I tried figuring it out, right? So, guys, there's this thing I'll recommend to all of you. Sometimes it will really be nice if you can do peer coding amongst yourself. See how you can organize meetings and peer code together. Like, try it. It's going to be nice. Like, somebody is coding and another person is watching. It's going to really improve your self confidence and all of that, right? So, If I refresh this should print user already exists. Great. Okay, so I think Jewel and Sugar, you can, I don't know if I've answered your question the way you were expecting. And then Samuel, you're asking where to host PHP and MySQL project for testing purpose. Oh, is this November already? No, it's not yet November, right? So Heroku should still be up and running. The dynos that are no longer there is MySQL, I think so. But PostgreSQL, like PostSQL, it's still working on some other dynos. So it's at the end of September, sorry, end of October that those dynos should be gone. If I'm not making a mistake. I think I'll research on that. There should be some free hosts somewhere for testing. I'll check that and let you know. All right. Somewhere. I think yeah, I'll check that and let you know. All right. Okay, guys, let me see if I can go to the next question. Uh, all right, somebody was asking how to check for specific data in a CSV. Yes, I just answered that, right? So you can use a while loop, looping through each of the data, and then from there you can check. We just did that. Guys, is that okay? Uh, Khalid, I should answer your question. Did I skip your question? Let me see. Did I skip a question? Let me see. I am having issues submitting the form data to the user data to PHP. It keeps showing errors. Now you want to be specific about it. What error is it showing? Okay. You could write it on YouTube here. Let me see. What is the error? And I'm waiting for your reply on this. Yeah, I'm waiting for your reply. What's your, let me see. What error are you getting? So my question was how to get the form code into file CSV so we can port it to GitHub. Uh, okay, let me come back to you, Sugar. It's giving me a warning of undefined variable birthday in this. Yes, it's because you've not defined the birthday, right? Khalid, um, let me see. All right, I'm going to do something here right now, and let's see. I hope it's going to print out the error. Maybe I've okay. So let me take for example email one. For example, I misspell this intentionally. I want to see something. Register this user already exists. Let me try to register with something more unique. Test, password. If I click on this, oh no, it just registered this because let me see. So literally, it registered and kept some stuff up. I want to do it in a way that I will try to check something. Okay, if data. Okay, let me try to use a variable that does not exist, but there should be a variable that exists. I'm trying to look for where I can actually answer this question. The error you are getting is because you have misspelled something. Like, say, I'm getting this error undefined variable gender. Uh, how do I wish you could get on Zoom right now and show your error because I can't literally figure it out. Okay, you sent it on Slack. Let me check it on Slack. Thank you. Uh, please, could you? Okay, I think it's Khalid. Ooch. Okay, so I'm going to switch and share my Slack. Let's see what Khalid's problem is. Khalid, I hope you don't have a problem with me sharing your code. Please, is that okay? Can I share your code? I'm waiting for your reply, please. Can I share your code? All right. Okay, so this is Khalid's code, and we have that if it said post submit. Could you as well share your how they call it? Could you share your form? Yeah, the index.php, I think so. So let's see where the error is coming from. So we have that if it said post submit, then we get the name, we get the email, we get. By the way, why are you first of all having this? All right, so this is your problem. This is one of your problem, right? Check on line 5, line 5, line 6, line 7. Look at the post you are using. Firstly is lowercase. Let's try to use that lowercase post and see what happens. Like uh, think we should probably cause an error. Yes, this little small letter post and the capital letters, they are totally different, I think. So if I try going to my browser and seeing this, why does this thing keep showing? The thing is that there are a lot of checks that I need to do to reach this level. So let me just try to check for the email, right? If data at index one is equal to email one. I should print out user already exists. Notice I've changed this thing to lowercase post. I'm trying to submit this. User already exists, user register. There are a lot of checks that I need to do on that stuff. Let me see. Does this even print out anything? Yes, this one prints out the data. And okay, the problem is this user registered successfully is basically supposed to be here. I think so. Let me see. I want to know the one that is having the issue. Let me see. Let me just edit some stuff here. And but could be the problem right now. But I wanted to reach this level. Now, basically, your problem is this lowercase post. Could you try to fix that? I don't want to do your assignment for you right now. Like, I could literally correct this. But firstly, I want you to remove these curly braces, like this one here, what you are seeing here. Remove these brackets. And then look at this post here. It's supposed to be capital letter. I think that is your problem for the birthday and the gender. That is where you're having issues. Could you try to fix that and see if it works? I think I should stop. Let me try another file, tests.php. Then I'll create another form called tests form.php. I'm going to do some HTML here, HTML5, test form. And I'm just going to have a little form here on style, no style. Like, yeah, just the form, the email. No, I don't even need all of this. I just need the email and the password, for example. So first thing, so I have this little form here, and I want to submit this form to test.php. So literally in this test.php, I want to check PHP if sets, let's see. Uh, so I don't want all of this for now. So we got just the email and the password, so there is no name. Next thing we want to have data and put this inside, right? So what is the error here? Unclosed? Yes, I've not closed it yet. Go, sorry, print R data. So we want to check this, and for this reason, I want to test your code by using lowercase post here. All right. So this is just a basic form, almost like yours. Let me come. So if I have test form.php here, I have this little form here. When I click on submit, it literally just prints out one thing. This is printing out one thing because how can I say, I've really configured my system not to catch a lot of errors. Okay, so if you notice here, it's having index 0, it doesn't print out anything. How do I do this to actually print out that error that you're talking about? Uh, Let's see if email. Which check should I put? Could somebody tell me which check I could put here to catch that error that he's talking about? Because literally right now you find out that the email is not being printed out, like it's not printed out because we are having this error here. Let me even use what you used before and try to do this. Okay, it's still the same thing. So this lowercase post is not the same as uppercase post. I wanted to catch your error, but it seemed okay. So this is what we have now. I'm really trying to understand your error. Let me see. Have you sent the form? Oh my god, the form seems huge. Uh, so it was for gender and okay. So first thing first on this uh, registration form, select name, gender. You are not passing in the value. Also passing the value here. The value is important. So value here should be male, value here should be email, value here should be other. Now let me check about your gender, the next gender, the other one is country. Uh, Method is post. I feel like I'm not even getting your error right now. Like, and this is your assignment though. One in trying to access array offset value of type null. Ah, okay. Maybe we'll get on a personal call with this. Let me see exactly what your code is. But literally, first of all, add the value to this gender, and let's see if there's another thing that you need to correct here. Date, name, birthday, ID, birthday. Please input your birthday. Uh, Array of type null is probably, let me see, on line 6. Okay, gender. Let me see. In the form, let's see what the gender is about. All right, so please change this gender to have a value first and then check again. Could you try that? Man, we're almost out of time. Like, seriously? Well, if it is not answered here, do well to check me on Slack. but just change this value to, yeah, give the value a name. Let's see if that works. Mm, Please, is there any other person's question that I've not answered? Do want to notify me before I leave somebody's question unanswered. So after I change capital. Yeah, the error seems to be on line 6. And first thing, all right, so you have this changed. Could you just be doing this and screenshotting and sending? Because maybe we could help. Line 6 is okay, you're trying to access the gender, and I know that that gender literally has null. But okay, just check that. Because your gender here is null. Like when you pass it to the back end, it is null. Because whatever you click, it goes with nothing. Let me see if I could replicate that kind of error. Let me see. Select gender and gender. Get some options here. Male. No, let me not pass in anything. Male, and let's get female too. Female. Okay. Let me try. Let me refresh this. I really wish I could replicate your error. Anyway, let me just submit this. Yeah, it literally doesn't catch the error for mine. And this is a bad thing right now. The configurations I did, I'm now regretting about it. So let me see. Let me go to test and get the gender. Gender. Go to. Let me try to use the same syntax you used. Okay, literally the same. Post at index gender, right? Was it gender? Yes, something like this. Test form. This was called gender. So let me try this again. Yeah, I'll literally not have that L. Like, I will not. So how am I going to replicate this error right now? Sorry, I cannot replicate your error. Maybe you just get to me on Slack. Let me see where the problem is coming from. Okay. Could you do that? Okay, so Sugar, let me try to answer your question right now. My question is about moving the code file to file CSV so I can put it to GitHub. I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. Like, I'm trying to really understand. My question is about moving the code file to file CSV so I can put it to GitHub. Please be explicit about this. I'm really trying to understand it. I wish I understood it, but I don't think I've gotten it. Could you try to explain better? So literally, let me just show you something. Another thing is that once you have this, right? Maybe let's say this is the whole folder containing your work, like the the document or the folder that people downloaded on how they call that, Google Drive. Now, when you have all of that done here, there are two things you can do. Like I said, you go to you go to GitHub, github.com from GitHub, you can create a repository. Let me do this with another account. I don't want to literally mess up my account right now. Okay, so let me sign into GitHub with my tutorial account. And okay, so this is GitHub right now. So once you have this, there are so many ways you could literally do stuff right now. But I'm just going to give you one easier way. So you can do git init, right? Now you should be inside the folder. Let me even go back. Back less. Okay, so I think I could do git. Now let me go inside the PHP folder. Let's see. PHP. Okay, so I'm inside the PHP folder. I want to initiate this folder as a Git repository. I do git init. That's initializing it as a repository, right? So you see all of these stuffs here right now. They have changed. I could literally stage it, git add star, git commit, not them, and I give it some message, creating the pool and linking it online to GitHub. So I've initialized it as a Git repository. I've staged it and I've committed. Now there is another thing that is left. Go to GitHub, create a new repository. Maybe let's give it a name as PHP, and let's say sample PHP, and make it public, and then just click on create repository. Now we've created this repository, and I want you to take note of this. Like, this is literally what you need to do. Look at this. If you wanted to start from scratch, you could follow this. But because of what I have done, initializing, staging, and committing, what I need to do is come down to this one, this last commands down here. I need to link this repository here to what is here. Like, I need to link that repository to this one that I just initialized. So I just need to paste this, right? And click enter. And the next command is setting the branch to name. Now, literally what happens is that if I do git status, you see that, okay, the branch is named because I've linked it. But when you initialize a repository, the branch is master. So what this command does is that it's going to set your branch to main, right? So with that, I have done that. And the next thing is just to push, right? So basically this, and that should work. This will not work for me because, all right, it just worked. Oh, that's great. I thought I had misconfigured my system, but anyway, this is good. So now if I come back here, you should literally, if I refresh, you see my work is here right now. Like, everything is here right now. So with this now, you just need to come here, copy the link, or come to this code and copy here, and you submit as your submission. That's literally it, guys. I don't know if that helps. This should be sugar. I don't know if that helps. How should you move the form created to CSV file? How should you move the data to the CSV file or the form created? Because you are not literally moving a form to CSV file, you are moving the form data. And that is literally what we did. I mean, we've been doing that. That's what we have been doing since yesterday. We get the form data, go to the action, do this, and then this is literally it now. I don't know. I feel like I'm not understanding you. How do we read the content of the CSV file so as to know if the email is already saved? Guys, I don't know if you guys have been really watching, because this is literally what we've done. Like, this is it. This is it. This is what we did, right? I mean, were you not following up or what? Because we have while this is not yet end of the file, we get the line, each line, we check if the data in that line correspond to what you already submitted. This is it. So I think you should watch this. That's going to help you. And I think we're even out of time right now. Okay, so I think I'm going to end my class right now because another mentor is coming in. Guys, I think you we'll see again tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Oh yeah, Saturday somehow like that. Please do well. Also get to me on Slack if you have issues. I'm going to end the call. Do well too. You can like. Yeah. Thank you.